everything feels like it's against you and you can't move forward. Look at those time periods in life and kind of see them as ways to gather information and also to kind of allow that momentum for what you want to build. Because when you're going through such a dark time, or what I like to call in a more positive light, a contrasting time, it gives you even more passion and motivation to come out on the other side of it. When you know what you don't want, you really know what you do want. Or you can use it as a time to say, you know what? Maybe this is good. Maybe it's good that I'm not there yet because maybe I'm not ready.
Let me tell you that I've had this dream since I was 13, watching MTV.
What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to Dreams Not Deferred. Sometimes it feels like everything, the world, the universe is against us when we are trying to pursue dreams, when we are trying to achieve something, when we are just trying to get something we want in life. It can be frustrating. It feels like, you know, you read too much into it. Maybe this isn't meant for me. Maybe it's not the path I'm supposed to choose. And maybe that's true, but a lot of the time it's just a tough period that is temporary, but it feels like forever, right? Time moves differently when you're in different moods. When you're going along and everything's pretty cool and smooth, or you're really happy, time bounces along. And, just like being in school, when you're in, for me, math class was my least favorite subject. So I knew when I was in math class, I would look at the clock and I would just see, I swear the clock would move slower and slower. Those minutes would tick by so slow. But when I was in something fun, when you're having lunch, man, it goes by like that, right? 30-minute lunch. I don't even remember. Were they 30 minutes long? Anyways, it would turn into like 15 seconds. That's what it felt like. So it is a temporary period, but it feels like forever. And it's really frustrating, right? What do you do when you're in that mode? Maybe you're in that phase of life right now where you're really trying to pursue something. You're trying to change something in your life. Maybe you're pursuing your talent and your passion. You're trying to build a business. Maybe you're trying to have kids. Maybe you're looking for a home. Whatever it is that you're trying to do right now that you have so much passion for, it's in your heart and you want so bad. You feel like you're doing all of the right things, but just stuff keeps happening to knock down your walls that you're building. And that can feel really lonely. And the important thing is, it's okay to feel lonely. It's okay to feel frustrated. It's okay to cry about it, to punch something, not somebody, preferably a punching bag, or punch something that can't be hurt. But yeah, it can be really frustrating. So, what I like to do is look at those time periods in life and kind of see them as ways to gather information, time periods to gather more information, and also to kind of allow that momentum for what you want to build. Because when you're going through such a dark time, or what I like to call in a more positive light, a contrasting time, it gives you even more passion and motivation to come out on the other side of it and get there. Because when you know what you don't want, you really know what you do want, right? It brings more clarity. So, how do you use this time for gathering information, for more motivation, to move you forward instead of staying stuck? Well, my friends, the first thing that you can do is kind of see what opportunities lie in that situation. So, let's say you're trying to build a business or pursue a dream and you don't have the money, you don't have the resources, you can't move forward because, like in my field, if you don't have a microphone, you don't have a computer, or you don't have access to one, how can you record yourself? You can't, right? I've definitely been there. If you don't have access to the right connections to be able to educate yourself, to learn about something, if you're in debt, really badly, you're in a bad financial spot, you can't buy a house, you can't move forward. If you are unhealthy, then maybe you can't have kids, whatever it may be. If you're in that position right now, look at what aspects of it could potentially be beneficial for you later. What I mean by that is there isn't always a major lesson in every troubling time, but if there's one small thing during that time that you can take, one little nugget that could propel you forward later, it's worth looking at. So maybe you're broke right now and you can't afford the resources or whatever you need to move forward. Well, what can you do? Is that a period for you to analyze your financial situation better? Is that a time for you to make a stronger plan? Maybe what you've been doing hasn't been working, and so it's a good time to build good strategies because, yes, more money will help you, but it may put you back in the same situation if you don't have the right structures. Everybody thinks, no, if I won the lottery, if I was a billionaire, I wouldn't go broke because I'm not stupid. But I'm telling you, baby, there's a reason that so many billionaires and lottery winners go broke, right? Or end up worse than they were before. And it's because they don't have the structure in place to be able to manage it. And big taxes and big responsibilities come with that money. So maybe it's a good time for you to be able to evaluate and reflect on what you have, what internally is going on, so that you can be stronger, better, faster for what it is you actually want, right? Maybe it's a time for you to build more skills. Maybe it's a good time when everything feels like it's against you and you can't move forward. There's really two options. One, a good time for rest and reflection. I just took 6 days off for vocal rest, and it was a really good time for me to kind of reevaluate how I'm working, what's sustainable, what's not sustainable for me, which is a big deal vocally, obviously. So I'm really, really grateful for having that time of reflection. And while I was frustrated that I might have missed out on opportunities for that week, I was more grateful for the opportunity to kind of check in with myself because I don't have time to do that when I'm hustling, right? So maybe see what positive can come out of this situation. And I don't mean that you should just ignore how you feel. I don't mean that you have to be like, everything good comes out. Every situation, there's always good that comes out of it. If you're going through a hard time, it's okay to just be like, this sucks and I hate it and I want out of it. But if you can find a nugget in there, then why not try? Um, so you can either use this time to rest and reflect and build your confidence, your skills up, whatever that may be. Or you can use it as a time to say, you know what? Maybe this is good. Maybe it's good that I'm not there yet because maybe I'm not ready. Maybe there's more that needs to be done, more that needs to be learned. Or, maybe I'm going to be extremely busy or have a lot on my plate. Even if it's not something that physically makes you busy, right? Like having kids or building a business. Maybe it's something as simple as like, I want to make more money now or I want to get out of debt. Like, I won't be busier when I make more money, but again, there will be more responsibilities and more to manage. So maybe this is a good time for you to actually enjoy having less on your plate, having a little bit less, uh, I wouldn't say less stress, because if you're in a financial tight spot, then you probably would feel less stressed if you weren't in that spot. But again, it's just a time to kind of take stock either way. And that doesn't mean it's easy, and that doesn't mean it's pleasant. Of course, we want to be doing the thing we love or, having the thing we want, achieving the goal. But, you know, it may just be a good time, not to sound like a broken record, to chill out, man. Just take a minute, just kind of reel it back and see where you are. But the biggest thing is don't obsess, don't overanalyze. That's what I always do, and I'm really trying to work on that. If everything feels like it's against you, sure, there might be a chance that you need to reevaluate your goal. Maybe it really isn't right for you, but most of the time, it's just a time to chill. It's just this too shall pass. It's just take a breath, take a moment, and allow the fact that this may not be the time for, 0 to 60 in 3.5 action. This may be the time for you to slowly but surely, one day at a time, kind of build things up. So take your time. Don't be so hard on yourself, and just see what you can learn from the moment, my friends. I've certainly been through these periods and they really suck sometimes, but if you kind of change your perspective on it and look at it as a positive in some way. And again, that doesn't mean you have to deny your feelings about it. You can still be sad or frustrated or feel grief or whatever it may be. And when you get on the other side of it, 99.9% of the time, you're going to see why it was a good thing that it took longer than you expected, why it was a good thing that you didn't get it when you wanted to get it, or maybe it didn't come in the way that you wanted it to come, right? This vision that you held on so tightly to and obsessed over the timeline and how it was supposed to look. Well, sometimes there's a reason why it's taking some time or not coming in that way. So just take a chill pill, okay? And I love you. And I rambled a lot today, but that's okay. I will see you next time, maybe when I'm a little more caffeinated. Bye.